In 1908, a doctor secretly poured poison into a city's drinking water, on purpose. It's why your tap water is safe today. The city was Jersey City. Its water came from the Passaic River, which, by the 1890s, was basically an open sewer. Upstream, Paterson flushed the sewage of 70,000 people into it through 13 pipes. Paterson was Silk City. Its mills dyed fabric with harsh chemicals, then flushed millions of gallons of bright, toxic dye into the river. The cost was typhoid. 80 deaths for every 100,000 people. The disease you caught from one glass of water. That was high, even for then. New York, on cleaner water, lost a quarter as many, and Europe far fewer. One reason nobody fixed it: the science was new. Germ theory, invisible things in water make you sick, was barely 30 years old. The other reason was fear. In 1906, Upton Sinclair's book The Jungle exposed the filth inside America's meatpacking plants. The country was horrified. If industry hid poison in the meat, what was in everything else? Trust in the food and water cracked. The outrage pushed Congress to act within months, the Pure Food and Drug Act, forcing hidden chemicals out of the nation's food. So picture proposing to add a chemical to a whole city's water. The loudest no came from the country's top sanitary scientists. The bitter irony? The men who best understood the germs were the ones blocking the cure. They wanted the water pure at the source, not, as they put it, a whole city medicated. Jersey City's first fix wasn't chemistry, it was concrete. Dam a cleaner river up in the hills, the Rockaway. Yes, the Rockaway, from our short about the town that dug its whole mountain hollow for iron. Hello again. A private company built the Boonton Reservoir under contract, 7 billion gallons, 800 acres, a 23-mile pipeline. To build it, they drowned a town. The old Boonton we also made a whole short about. It still surfaces in a drought. The first water flowed in 1904, clear, cold, and to the eye, perfect, straight from the hills, and completely untreated. But upstream towns and farms drained into that reservoir, and after heavy rain, their sewage and barnyard runoff washed into the unfiltered water. So the typhoid kept coming back. A lake that looked clean still poured a dirty glass. The reservoir alone hadn't fixed it. So Jersey City did something almost unheard of. It sued its own water company, the supplier it had hired, for filthy water. In June 1908, the judge ruled for the city. The company had 3 months to deliver clean water. The only alternative was a filtration plant, slow, massive, and ruinously expensive. The clock started ticking. The man cornered by that clock was Dr. John Leal, a physician from Paterson. He was the water company's own advisor, and the company was staring down a fortune. He had 3 months and no cheap way out. But Leal didn't need the court to tell him what bad water does. He'd watched it kill his own father. It happened in a Civil War camp, foul water, the same enemy now loose in Jersey City, taking 19 slow years to do its work. Leal was in medical school when it took him. From that day, the thing in the water was the enemy he'd hunt for life. His answer was the one thing everyone feared: chlorine. A poison no major American city had ever dared put in its water. But Leal wasn't guessing. As Paterson's health officer, he'd killed typhoid in homes with that same chemical for 15 years. Everyone else saw a poison. Leal saw a weapon, the thing that could kill the germ that killed his father. To build it fast, he needed the best, George Warren Fuller, the greatest sanitary engineer in America. This was the man who'd reinvented clean water itself. His filters ran 60 times faster than anything before, a living legend. And his masterpiece sat right here in New Jersey, the model filtration plant at Little Falls. On June 19th, Leal crossed the Hudson to Fuller's office, and they made their deal in secret, on a handshake. And the task was a razor's edge. Too little chlorine and the typhoid lives. Too much, and he really is poisoning a city. 99 days after that handshake, it was done. September 26th, chlorine into 200,000 people's water. He asked no one, not the city, not the public. One man, alone, secretly dosing a city with the poison they all feared. It had never been done, the first continuous, permanent chlorination of a major American city's drinking water. Leal was out there alone. For weeks, nothing. Then the health records turned, the bacteria counts collapsed, and the typhoid cases dried up. It was working. Leal's secret wouldn't hold. When it finally broke, the accusation was damning. He had poisoned a city. And the city he'd secretly saved? Now hunting him as a poisoner. One headline: Water Board to watch Dr. Leal. The case went to a heavyweight, William Maggie, a former New Jersey Chief Justice. His verdict would decide chlorine's fate for the whole country. It all came down to this. On the stand, Maggie put the question that could end him. Would he drink this poison himself? Leal didn't blink. He called it the safest water in the world, and drank a full glass down, right there in front of them. Next year, Maggie ruled the water pure and wholesome. The poison had become the cure, and the man they'd called a criminal had been vindicated. One by one, the cities that had called it poison copied him. 21 million Americans drinking it by 1914. In 10 years, the heresy became the law of the land. 1,000 cities and 33 million people by 1918. And the killer in the water? In Jersey City, typhoid crashed from 80 per 100,000 towards 0. Across the country, clean water erased nearly half of all urban death and 3/4 of the babies who used to die. You drank his gamble this morning and never gave it a thought. The grieving son who dosed a city with poison to save it and beat every man who called him a criminal is almost entirely forgotten. And that's the story.